sure they really are under these hips, under the knees, in alignment. Hands down by your sides. Reaching those fingertips gently down towards the floor by your sides, and shoulder blades slightly back and down. Okay, so you're just working through your own little to-do list, and start to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Of course, closing your eyes if you wish. Just taking a moment just to settle your thoughts. Okay, so nice breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. That's great. Maybe toes slightly together for me, Michelle. Thank you for letting me see your mat. That's fantastic. Just toes as opposed to heels. So just bringing those heels slightly wider, toes together. Perfect. That's lovely. Nice, good stuff. Okay, so again, thinking about just allowing yourself to just feel the weight in the heels slightly, a little bit more perhaps, okay, than the toes, but not by lifting the toes, just feeling nice and light and airy under those toes. There we go. Okay, so you're going to be breathing in and imagining that this heel area that you've just made aware in your mind is your anchor. It's pinning you down into the mat. And you're going to breathe in. As you breathe in, imagine yourself then stretching up and away from that heel. Okay, so you've got that lovely point of origin, that connection under the heels, and then breathing in, lifting up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Morning, Suchi. Hello, good stuff. Okay, all righty. So breathing in, growing nice and tall, finding that space, allowing everything, all the joints, the vertebrae as well, to have a nice reach and a stretch this morning. And then imagining, of course, these ribs pressing to your left and right, this lateral thoracic breathing as well. Find that space in the ribs. And then engaging now the core as you exhale, just gently drawing that belly to spine, thinking of the pelvic floor area as well, coming up and under. Okay, so that's that sort of sense of almost a hammock. Maybe that visual works for you, or perhaps a sense of a small drawstring bag. Just slowly drawing those guys up and under and through with an exhale. We've got a couple more breaths, breathing in. Exhale, gently drawing up the pelvic floor area as well for one more breath in. Growing from the feet all the way to the crown of the head. And when you've finished, open your eyes and get yourselves back into the room. Okay, folks, staying where you are with those feet. Don't let them immediately turn out. Just take your knees and drop them down towards your toes. No leaning backwards or forwards, okay, just like you've gone down the wall behind you there. And we're going to just take our hands towards the side of the head. Okay, still shoulders are nice and low. Okay, relaxed away from the ears there. We're going to take the right elbow in, ease it over towards the side. So you're getting a bit of a lateral flexion down the left side of the body. Keep those knees pulling down. Okay, they're connecting you to the floor area. And then bring yourself back to center with a breath in. Knees are still low and over towards your left. Left elbow easing down towards the floor. Keeping that right elbow out the way, so looking forwards. That's it, and back to center. One more time towards the right. Pausing here, extend your arms now, both of them out towards the side if you can. Any shoulder issues, you're more than welcome to drop the hand that's perhaps over your head and more tricky in front of the face if you need to. Reach, stretch, breathe. Bring your hands back in, staying low with those knees, so it's all controlled above the pelvis, upwards, over towards the left, and extend again the arms over there and have a reach and a stretch and a prep through your shoulders too, and bring yourself back. Hands to temples or the side of your head, and then gently straighten the legs, hands by your sides. Okay, gorgeous, well done. All righty, so again, shoulders stay quite light and low, but pop your hands onto those, or fingertips onto your shoulders. We have a bit of a challenge just to wake up the brain a smidgen here. Okay, so let's go ahead with our left elbow to begin with. I want you to draw a circle towards the back of the room behind you. Okay, so heading in a reverse direction with that left elbow, sending it in circles from the front to the back of the room. Well done, great stuff. So that's your reversing direction. Pause with that elbow just settling there. Now the right elbow, I want you to take this in circles towards the front of your room. Okay, so drawing those circles from the back to the front. Okay, right. So the brain is aware there's two directions that you can possibly do. We're now going to pause with both elbows just settling by your sides, and we're going to take one forwards and one backwards. Let's go with the version that we've just done. Let's go with our left heading backwards and perhaps the right starting to go forwards. Okay, see how you feel, if you can possibly get this to work. Okay, if you feel like you're just flapping around in midair, don't worry too much. It's one to practice. And if you can, we're going to stop and pause, and we're heading the other way. Okay, so this time perhaps if you're joining in with me or you're freestyling, then it's the left one heading forwards and the right heading back. Okay, so we're talking to these opposites. Okay, getting the brain to just think, Yeah, I can do this differently. I can do this. I can overcome my natural instinct, pausing there and hands down by your sides. Okay, one to practice maybe in the garden in the sun this weekend. All righty. Into big arm circles. We talked a little bit about last week about thinking about the response of your body. So we did some small circle work. I want you to just think, this is really simple but effective, to think about how the core responds. As you bring your arms towards the front, bring them up towards the front of your temples, sweep the arms behind you, and notice what's happening with the ribs. Of course, as those arms come up, you'll feel the ribs opening, perhaps lengthening the front of the abdominals. Keep going. Perhaps you feel that scooping around the shoulder blades behind you. And notice and be aware of any asymmetry. Perhaps one feels like it's just not as mobile as the other. Okay, so observe, see how this feels, and really get into those full circles. We're going to pause after this next one and take it into reverse for 5. Again, mindful, notice and be aware, lifting the arms behind you, sweeping forwards. And how does that feel? How does it feel through the neck? Okay, as well. We've got last 2, full range if you can, and final one. And settling those hands by your sides. Gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to go back into our work on our feet and our hips. So we're going to keep our legs straight now. And what I want you to simply do is lift your right heel so that the thigh bone pushes up into the pelvis, but the knee stays straight, which means you end up with this kind of seesawing effect of the hips. Okay, release the left heel back down. Don't know which one, so which heel, doesn't matter. I said right, I did left. Just lifting your heel so that the thigh bone presses up into the pelvis and release down. So it might feel a little bit weird to begin with because your natural instinct is to bend the knee. But again, talking to the body just to move and just do something that it may not necessarily think it's supposed to do is important, but also, of course, we're getting a little bit into this hip area, and we're also looking to just get a bit of movement in that sacroiliac joint around the base of the spine. Okay, so we're just mobilizing there. We've got one more, and then pause gently, both heels on the floor. Okay, hands popping on the hips for me for one moment while we just do 1 or 2 pelvic tilts. Okay, we haven't done that here for a little while. We're going to just gently bring our pubic bone forwards. Find that end of range, okay, really tucking forwards, and then send that pubic bone away. So yes, we know this piece. It's relatively simple, technically, mechanically, but find that end of range both ways. And again, observe how it feels. Okay, gently sending the bottom away and visualizing perhaps even a lovely bowl of water tipping out behind you and tipping forwards. That's one of my favorite visuals. And when we find that settled water, okay, neither tipping forwards or backwards, that is your halfway house, that is your neutral pelvis. Okay, so coming into that halfway house point and pausing there. Okay, right, we've mobilized here, so let's go ahead and pop our legs a little bit wider in readiness for a wide leg roll down. Finding a bit of bendiness at the knee just to make sure you feel nice and comfortable. As wide as you can probably go. We may be able to get a bit wider as you go ahead and do a few of these and repeat. Hands are behind your back, so you're clasping the hands behind you if you can. Shoulder blades are back and down, belly is in. So we're rolling down, chin coming into your throat space. Start to peel down. The knees are soft to begin with. And as you come down, lifting those arms towards the ceiling for a bit of a chest opener. If you feel any dizziness or you're not wanting to, or you're feeling a bit lightheaded in the warmth of today, don't head below the heart space, okay, about halfway. And then draw yourself back up, peeling up nice and slowly. Hands come down towards your bottom as you come back up. We're going to do 2 more. If you want to modify and straighten the legs, you can. That'll get you a bit more of a hamstring stretch. But it's up to you. Perhaps that's a little bit too early in the game this morning, but it's up to you if you want to straighten them. Maybe when you get down, have a go at straightening them, see how that feels. And then peel up with them straight, or just playing around with how you feel as we just mobilize the spine and arm area. One more time, gently peeling down this last time, rolling down. Arms elevating, shoulder blades back and down. And then gently up we come, restart that spine. Well done. And into standing, walking those legs in together, hands just releasing from behind you. Okay, we're heading down onto your mat, guys. So we're sitting to begin with our feet towards the end of the mat, and you're going to hang on behind the back of those knees, all righty. And we're going to do a little bit of C-curve work, a little bit of core work this week. Okay, we kind of skipped around it a little bit last week. We're going to head back on into it, into the eye of the storm with the C curve. So hands behind the back of your knees, lifting nice and tall, find that space in the spine, and just say hello to those little sit bones underneath you there, the little bony bits under the bottom. Okay, sitting nice and tall, find the space, shoulder blades back and down, collarbones open. Yeah, nice. And then taking your chin into your throat space. Bring your belly to spine, start a bit of that pelvic tilt you worked on a moment ago, and head back into C curve with those arms extending and straight. Okay, so you're going to get all the way back, so you're almost hanging off these arms. And then double check that belly button is really in. Suck it in one more time, feel it nice and engaged, and pressing into that lower spine space. Peeling back out of this now, starting to pelvic tilt and back into neutral, lifting nice and tall at the top of the head, sitting on those sit bones. Breathing in, 2 more. Exhale, chin to chest and peeling down. Allowing that belly button just to press in all the way with those arms extended. Well done. And then peel back up. And we've got one more, and we're holding back. Okay, so when you head back this time, pause when you're back, all of us regrouping and pausing here. Great. Okay, I want you to think now that your nose is going to head towards your knees, not through peeling up, but by gently pulling your elbows to the side of you. The belly stays in, and you're going to use this pull on the legs to maintain your C curve. And as your knees come to, your nose comes towards your knees, you might feel a bit more of a stretch, I hope, in that lower lumbar spine, and then we sit up nice and tall from there. Okay, so have a play around, heading back into that C curve for your maximum range to begin with. Belly pulling in, using those arms by pulling the elbows wide, nose diving towards the knees, and then sit up nice and tall. Okay, good stuff. And we've got one more. Gently peeling back into C curve, easing back all the way, arms extended, nice. Keep that belly pulling in as you use those legs to draw the nose all the way to knees and sit tall. Fantastic, well done. Pausing there. Okay, we should have mobilized the spine now enough to be ready for our rolling like a ball. If you're not a huge fan of rolling like a ball, all righty, you can head into, we'll do some balanced work. So hands around the outside edge of your legs if you can, and feet are just on the tippy toes or the back of your feet, the toes themselves. We're going to come into that lovely little sucking into the belly and the C curve. So gently ease that belly button in, chin into your throat space. And here you can choose just to go into your into your floating of the feet and back down if you wish to not do the rolling like a ball. If you are rolling like a ball, lifting the feet off the mat, find your pause, find your tipping point. We start to lift or tilt the pelvis with a breath in as we head back, and we exhale as we come back into our pause first hover position. All righty, breathing in on the way back and exhaling into pause. So again, holding those feet nice and close if you can. Exhale with energy, use the core to bring yourself back up and observe how it's going. Okay, if you're feeling like you're rolling towards one side all the time, perhaps that's your weaker side. Or should I beg your pardon, that's your stronger side. If you're rolling to that side is stronger, so it's dragging you that way and you're using those muscles. So again, observe any asymmetries and then bring yourself back into your sitting position at the front of the room. Wonderful, onto the mat. Hands come behind you now, guys, and maybe have a little bit of a moment. Great, to just pause. Right, so hands can be facing to the side or they can even face away from you. That's fine for this next piece. We're going to work a little bit on our hip twist. So remind yourself of that gentle push of the heart space through the arms, the growth to the top of the head. Imagine stretching yourself if you can from the pelvis and bring your legs and knees together. Okay, so keeping your shoulders as much as you can facing down the length of the mat to the other side of the room. You're going to just let both knees head towards the side. They're going to possibly just shift out of alignment. That's okay. But your focus is shoulders staying forwards. And then you come back with an exhale back into center and breathe in and prepare to head the other way. So the legs are heading to the side and maybe starting to feel a bit of a stretch around that lower spine area, around the left and right of your spine. Perhaps you're feeling a stretch over the outside edge of your thighs. Okay, everyone's a little bit different, but you need to keep drawing yourself up through the crown of the head. Again, it's that sense of having an anchor. If you don't and you jump down into that lower spine, okay, then you're just going to end up using the waist as well and not really benefit. So growing nice and tall as you head from side to side. And pause this next time with those knees to center. Okay, we're dropping down into our sunbathing position. Okay, folks, so it's elbows down on the mat, forearms are by your sides. Okay, as if you're at the pool checking out what's going on. Okay, so it's nice, easy visualization for us. Our knees are still together for the moment, and I want you to again find that lift of the spine. Okay, so you're not dumping down that neck into the shoulder space or the lower back. Okay, so you're a little bit perched here. Okay, neck again, try not to have that neck pulling in too much or hanging out to the back of you, your halfway house. And into your tiptoes again on the back of the toes for me there. Now we're going to take those knees one more time over towards the right. So the same piece here, but slightly modified with our sunbathing position, and then over towards the left. Okay, so we feel pretty cool here. Over to the right and pause. Now, keeping the knees together, I just want you to extend your left leg so you can reach that leg over towards the side of you. The knees are still together and glued. Breathe in, exhale, and bring that knee and leg shape back to center, and then place your foot back down. Over towards the left. Over towards the left maximum range, and extend your right leg, knees together, breathing in, draw that shape, those legs stay together, knees stay together to center, and then back down. Over towards the right, and extend the left leg. Well done. Bring those knees up together, well done, and down one more time. Oops, to the left, and to the side, and bring yourself back to center. And pausing there, wonderful. Release yourselves down onto the mat now, slowly lowering your lumbar spine, mid spine, upper spine, head, neck and shoulders down onto the mat. Have a little pause there. We've been hanging out in the neck a little bit, so just look for me over your right shoulder. Okay, and take a breath in. And look over to your left shoulder or left side. And breathe. One more time each side, please, for me, just to make sure we really mobilize that neck to the right. And back over towards the left. And bring yourself back to center. Okay, so folks, we're going to be lying down in supine. If you do want to put a little cushion under your head, go ahead and grab one now. Our heels are close up towards our bottoms, okay? And arms are pressing palm down on either side of you into the mat. So we're going to head into our bridge work. We are not going to mobilize segmentally. We're just going to go ahead straight on into a full bridge lift, okay? So breathing in, exhale, press into the soles of your feet and lift your hips and your bottom up off the mat into your full bridge and reach those knees towards the end of the mat. Feel that space perhaps responding in the abdomen area. And as you come down, again, it's a flat back lower, so you're not peeling down. We're just going to lower down and kiss your bottom onto the floor. Okay, so when you're ready, a repeat, please, lifting the pelvis towards the ceiling and lowering back down. Well done. Breathing in, exhale as you lift and back down. As you're lifting, remembering you're pushing those kneecaps away and you're gently allowing that little chin to stay in the throat space area. Okay, so try not to throw that head back. Yeah, that's good. And down. Last two. And we're going to pause, lift it in the bridge. So go ahead and lift into your maximum range. So I feel comfy, knees pressing away. Alrighty, so we're going to now lift our right heel, press into the left sole of the foot and up into your tabletop or marching leg. Place that leg back down and switch sides. So first of all, reminding yourself of that pelvic stability, trying to keep those hips up towards the ceiling. So we're just doing two more marching legs while we fire up the brain messages to the pelvis, and then you're going to go ahead and lift your right leg into your tabletop marching leg and pause for me, please. We're going to extend this right leg towards the ceiling. If you don't want to do this foot flexion, you can continue marching, okay? Or you can put your bottom on the floor and do this piecely bum down, okay? Stand into those arms, one leg towards the ceiling. Let's go ahead into dorsiflexion, standing on the ceiling with your sole of the foot. Pull that leg now down towards the end of the mat and reach that leg nice and long. Go into point and draw the leg towards the ceiling. Dorsiflexion down. We've got three more, pointing up. Down in flat foot and pointing up. And down in flat foot and pointing up. Pause, pointing towards the ceiling. We're going to head down now, pointing. So down we go, point, 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 point towards the end of the mat. And then flex the toes and come up to the ceiling. Down in point and back up. Down in point and final time back up. Well done. This time place your foot back down, and I'd like you just to set the pelvis so it's nice and high, and then release segmentally down, letting the vertebrae come down one at a time. You know the drill, keeping the pelvis up to the last minute. We'll keep it going up to the last minute and then releasing into neutral pelvis. If you need to take a moment or have the knees in, go ahead now before we just do the other side. Okay. Alrighty, so popping those feet back down. Again, hands either side of you. When you're ready, we're going to just bridge straight on up into your elevated position. So let's go. Lifting the hips and pelvis towards the ceiling. Left heel elevating. Press into the right side of the foot. Left leg into marching. Again, if you want to just march here, you're more than welcome. All doing this with your bottom down is cool. And flexion at the foot. So your dorsiflexion standing on the ceiling. Let's pull down and stretch the back of the leg muscles going to point and stretch the front of the leg muscles towards the sky. Pulling down in dorsiflexion and up in point. Well done, guys. Down in dorsiflexion, up in point. This is our last time before we pause with point at the ceiling. So pause and regroup if you need to. Pointing at the ceiling. Pointing down now. Reach that leg nice and long along the mat in point and up with a flat foot. Down in point. Up in flat foot. Well done. Two more down and up. And last time down and up. Place that foot back down on the mat. Take your arms overhead if that's available to you. So into double arm float rather towards the floor behind you. Interlace the hands if you wish. Turn the palms away or just hang those arms out there if you want. And we're going to segmentally release. Again, releasing one by vertebrae at a time. One by one down. Healing down. Mobilizing the spine. And when you get to the bottom point, relax and have the hands come back overhead by your sides. Okay, well done. Go ahead and extend your legs now out towards the end of the mat and draw your toes up towards the ceiling. Okay, so they're pulling up and you're in that dorsiflexion. Okay, so we're going to do the neck pull. I'm going to go through it slowly. Okay, if you know that you have a struggle with the roll up, okay, you might want to just find yourself a little towel or cushion to put under your lower back if you've got a support there. You can double up the mat if you need to. Or just see how you go and then modify accordingly. Okay, so your toes are pulling up towards your knees. Hands are going to come behind the back of the head and they're interlaced, okay, because you do need to use those hands to actually do what it says on the tin, the neck pull. Okay, so this is a bit of a pull. All right, it's a gentle pull, a little bit of a caveat, it's a gentle pull. And the breathing is super duper important. Breathing really, really helps, okay? Now I'm going to just give you a word of warning now. This is one of my least favorites. I'm not very brilliant at this one, so I do apologize in advance. But everything's a progress journey, right? So your toes are pulling up towards your knees. You start with a breath in. The breath in is when you lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and you check out your toenails. That's your breath in. The exhale then comes in part two. So the exhale comes then when you gently pull your elbows. Oh, I have to do it with my hands away. Pull your elbows towards your nose in front of you like blinkers, and you gently bring your nose and elbows towards your knees. Okay, so that is part two. Part three, we sit up nice and tall. Okay, and then we go into our hinge, pressing those heels away. We hinge as far as we possibly can, and then when you get to your maximum range, the elbows come back in like blinkers and you peel back down, nourishing the spine back onto the mat, elbows wide. Okay, so let's have a go together. All right, so hands are by your sides. Let's go ahead. We're going to go straight into the breath in. Really get really nice and flowing. Breathe in. Exhale, pulling your nose towards and elbows towards your nose like blinkers. You're gently peeling yourself forwards, and that's the neck pull. Nose to knees. Peel up, sit nice and tall on those sit bones. Elbows open wide like a butterfly. Well done. Press the heels away. Breathe in, hinging back. Yes, nice, Michelle. Breathing in, and then as you get to your maximum range, bring those elbows back towards you like blinkers and peel back down onto the mat. Elbows come wide where you start again with a breath in. Look at those knees and toes. Elbows come close as you then draw forwards into neck pull. That's the bit where it says, does what it says, and sit nice and tall, elbows wide like a butterfly. Okay, then do two more. See how we're getting on. Hinging back, that's the groan through the spine when you get to maximum range. Well done. Yes, get those elbows forward and hug. Elbows forward, Michelle, as you come. That's it. Well, yeah, that's it. My bad. Well done. One more time. Get that breath. The breath in and then exhale as you come up and pull that neck. Well done. Yeah, that's it. Don't worry. There's often that little bit of a hand fling, it's not a problem. And then bring yourself into sitting nice and tall to finish. Well done, guys. Fantastic. Finishing this level. Keep going. Keep going. Just power on through till you get to that final time and we're sitting. Okay, so bring yourself into sitting when you finish this last one. We're just going to regroup again towards the front edge of the mat. We've done a bit of prep with our rolling like a ball. So we're now going to do our see-off. So hands this time are inside your legs and knees are wide. Remember, seal, we're going to have that sense of control, starting to gain some control when you head forwards and backwards. And the proof of that, of course, is the clapping of the feet like a seal. All right, so holding onto your ankles, it might be that you need to hold on slightly higher up, wherever you need to, maybe even holding onto your leggings, wherever. Okay, you're going to just come into your C curve again, gently bringing the belly button to spine, chin slightly into your throat space. And again, taking your toes off the floor into your balance and tipping point. Again, that might be all you want to do. Just work on breathing in with the toes down and exhale till you find your tipping point. That's a strong core piece. Or you can start now with a breath in on the way back. We exhale as we then come forwards. So you've clapped your feet, come forwards and exhale, and 3 more claps. So it's a breath in, pause, clap, 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 exhale, and clap, clap, clap. Okay, breathing in. Okay, so breathing in on the way back, holding and controlling, pausing, and then back we go. Well done, lovely, well done. Breathing in on the way back, exhale forwards. Last time. Gorgeous, well done, guys, and pause there. Fantastic. Okay, so we're just going to take a little moment to just stretch off the back slightly. So bring yourselves into 4-point kneeling. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, okay? Have a little bit of a check off in your own mind's eye. You've got lengthening through the crown of the head, all right? All the way from that tailbone. Shoulder blades are back and down in neutral, belly button just gently in towards the spine. We had quite a lot of work on that manipulation of the spine last week, so finding yourself in your optimum position. Okay, let's go ahead and just pop your left hand onto your right hand, okay, and let the left elbow come down towards the floor. Okay, so the left elbow is now kind of in the place where your left hand was a moment ago. Yeah, that handprint, yeah. So we're here. All righty. From here, take the right leg out behind you, gently in towards the end of the mat. Toenails are facing down towards the mat, and go ahead and lift that right leg towards the ceiling and lower back down. So it's just a single right leg lift, working on the glutes. Toenails are facing down for the moment-ish, okay? So you're heading down with the toenails and leading with the heel. Breathing in when you're down and exhale as you lift. Okay, well done. Good stuff. Single leg raises, working on those glutes. Well done. Lifting and lowering. And this time we're going to pause with that leg elevated. So just pausing in your maximum range. Dorsiflexion again at the foot. So you've got those toes pointing down towards the ceiling. And then just gently draw the heel in towards your bottom and send that leg away. Gently draw the heel in and away. And in and away. Last 2, and we're pausing with that heel in, pausing here. Well done. You're now pulsing that leg towards the ceiling with the foot towards the sky. Here we're just going to pulse and press, press and press. So it's a gentle press, lifting with that foot towards the sky, exhaling as you lift. Okay, just gently press and press for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Gorgeous. Bring that knee in underneath you. Take that left hand back up onto the mat. And from here, we're just going to head into a gentle back extension and cat and cow, lifting the mid-spine towards the ceiling. Press the shins down, having a moment's pause, transition in between, and gently have that bottom sticking out, looking forwards and belly down for your cow. One more time into cat. And down into cow. Okay, this time into your neutral again, finding 4-point kneeling neutral position. Right hand onto your left hand, right elbow pops down where that palm was on the right a moment ago. Okay, so just so I can see. So the left leg now reaching out behind you, toenails are down. Okay, and again, let's go ahead and breathe in as you're down and exhale as you single leg lift. Alrighty, so breathe in, exhale, lift and lower. Exhale, lift. Feel that leg reaching nice and long. Okay, so you're heading up towards the sky and get a nice bit of height here. Now we've got this elbow down. Okay, so stops you crunching a little bit in the back. So you should be able to get a nice long straight leg lift fairly comfortably. And we're going to just lift for 2 more and 1 more. And pause with the leg lifted. Okay, well done. Into dorsiflexion, so pull the toes down towards the floor. Make sure that leg's nice and reached. Strong, long legs. And then we're pulling in the heel to the bottom and extending away. Breathing in. Exhale, pulling in and extend away. Working the hamstrings as you draw in and exhale Work those quads, well done. And away. We've got 4 more. And 3, keep those toes facing down to the floor, well done. Last 2, exhale, and last 1. We're going to pause with the leg in, so your heels in towards the bottom direction, and we're breathing in and we're pulsing as we press that heel and that leg towards the sky. I feel like it's flapping around a bit behind you there, but you're controlling with an exhale if you can, using those glutes as an exhale. Well done. We've got 4 more. And 3, press, 2, press, 1. Gorgeous, well done. And gently bring that knee underneath you. Right hand back on the mat and back into rest position or child's pose here. Wherever's comfy for you, maybe knees wide, maybe bum high, elbows down, maybe up, wherever's comfy. Pause and breathe. Okay, we've got 1 more breath before we roll over onto our backs, guys, for our series of 5. So when you're ready, rolling yourselves over, and we're once again lying on our backs. Okay, so series of 5. We're going to rattle through the core work. As I said, we're going to face into the eye of the storm and do all the core work for available for us in Pilates with this series of 5. It's a great drill to get familiar with. So your hands are down by your sides, chin slightly into your throat space, and we're going to start off thinking about imprint. Okay, so that giant footprint on your belly, pressing down. Your control center is here down in the middle of the mat. Okay, let your right knee come into your chest. Go ahead and scoop your hands now around that shin of the right leg and pull the right knee in. Okay, we're going to start with the head down. Okay, so extend your left leg for me and reach towards the end of the mat. Feel that leg lengthening. Okay, and go ahead and lift that left leg slightly off the mat. Double check you've got that lower spine engaged on the floor. Okay, so it's really nicely engaged here, pulling you down. Nice. Now, when you're ready, we're going to switch and take the left leg in towards you. Pause and reach. Stretch the right leg for a moment. And again, check the imprint. So as soon as that leg goes away, you'll feel you're challenged a little bit more to keep that lower back engaged, yeah? So just be aware. Breathing in, let's switch. Okay. And I'm going to speed this up now. So it's a switch and a switch and a switch. Okay, so if you want to bring the head, neck, and shoulders up, sometimes that actually helps with the core control because you're actually obviously allowing that lower spine to press down a little bit more. If you're lifting, the nose is heading towards the knees. And you're lifting with the rib cage and stretch, okay? Think about not just thinking, oh, this is my knee coming in. Stretch that leg away and stretch and stretch. Last 2. Final 1. Bring both knees in towards you. If your head is up, let's go ahead and pop the head back down. If not, just hug those knees into your chest for a moment and pause. Okay, so the next one is for us is the double leg stretch. Again, head stays down to begin with, please. Okay, so this is your option for grumpy necks. All right, so beginning with the arms, we're going to just send the arms around away towards the wall behind you. Please don't have the arms coming down towards the floor, okay? It's really difficult to keep that rib cage from lifting if the arms are right here, and that's going to jeopardize the safety of the lower spine. So you really are thinking kind of towards the ceiling-ish, well, towards the core where the ceiling meets the wall. And then go ahead and send the legs away. They're heading away at 45 degrees, and glue those legs together. Reach, 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 okay? Sweep the arms around by your sides in circles and bring your knees back in and hug, hug, hug. Pull those knees in, belly away, down onto the floor with the breath in. Exhale, arms just 45 degrees, send those legs away. Reach and squeeze those legs together. Sweep those arms around, mobilize the shoulder blades, draw your knees in. We've got 1 more slow with the head down. Out we go. If you want to, of course, you can just do 1 leg. Okay, if it's all feeling a little bit much, you can just do 1 leg at a time. But unlike single leg stretch, okay, the leg is going out to 45 degrees, so a little bit higher, even if you are doing 1 leg. If we want to bring the head, neck, and shoulders into this, and a little bit more core work, bring your nose towards your knees, and we're going to do 8 a little bit faster. Breathing in, exhale, choose your level, and away we go. Stretch and reach. Sweep round and gather the legs in. Stretch and reach with an exhale. Sweep big circles, gather in. Stretch and reach. Big arm circles, gather legs in. And 1 more. No, that can't be right. 2 more. Sorry, last 2. That's 6. So this is 7. Now we're on to 8. And gently then pause, holding your legs, and then back down on the mat if your head is lifted, and place one foot down and then the other. Fabulous. Okay. Hands come behind the back of the head. And we're going to head into double leg lower. Okay. So again, an imprint, left leg in towards your chest, right leg in. If you're not fancying the double leg lower, okay, you can do go from here, beg your pardon, into double leg extension towards the ceiling, okay, and bring those knees back in. So this is your level 1 option. If your neck is grumpy, you don't fancy doing the double leg lower, then do that, okay? If you're coming into the next level with me, go ahead and take both legs towards the ceiling as your start point, and turn your toes slightly away from each other into your Pilates V. Squeeze those inner thighs together, squeeze those knees together. With a breath in, we're going to have the head down to begin with and lower our legs a small way towards the floor and then back up to the ceiling. So we're talking probably 20 or 30 centimeters, okay, not to the floor, okay, not to the hover above the floor. It's just a small lower and raise. As I say, if you want to bring those knees into your chest and send them to the sky, please choose that at any point. For those who want to come along with the abdominal work, layering up, let's bring the head, neck, and shoulders up into your lift, shoulder blades down, belly pressing into the floor. And we're going to do 3 more with the head supported with these hands. Last 2. And here's our final one, guys. Lower, lower, lower. And for everybody now, bring those knees into the chest, head, neck, and shoulders down. If they're not already, place one foot on the mat and then the other. Well done. Okay. So that was a third of our series of 5 core pieces. This is our 4th piece, which is the crisscross. The hands are once more behind the back of the head. And I want you to think about just gluing those knees together for a moment. Okay, so again, innervating those inner thigh muscles, everything drawing in, like there's a little coin between your knees and you're trying to keep it from dropping down. And have a think about the shoulder blades. So just breathe into that shoulder blade space for a moment and just feel the response to the back of the rib cage, yeah? And that happy hammock from elbow to elbow. Breathe into that lovely shoulder blade area and just wake it up. Okay, so left shoulder blade to begin with is going to slightly peel off the mat like a piece of sellotape and roll over onto your right shoulder blade, but check out what's going on with these hips. Keep that left hip pulling down, okay, and then you come back down onto the floor with the breath in. Okay, right shoulder blade peels off. Keep that right hip pulling down as you head over towards the left and back into center. One more time, slow either side, squeeze the knees. Have we got energy between those knees? I hope so. And then back to center. And that is your anchor. We talked about this at the beginning. That anchor, that connection between the knees keeps you centered. Pausing, keeping that in mind, bearing that in mind, into imprint if you've not got there now, tummy down, and lift your right leg into tabletop, left leg into tabletop. You can place them together if that squeeze means something to you and resonates, or you can be slightly wider and your legs are kind of hip width apart, up to you. When you're ready, we're going to breathe in. Go ahead, left peel of the shoulder blade and roll onto the right. Left hip staying down. Come back to center, breath in. As you head over towards the left, that right hip stays down. Well done. We've got 4 more. Really get the squeeze. Exhale. As you rotate. Last 2. Extra millimeter if you can, and that's our final one. Twist, twist, twist. Use that waist. Come back down with your head, neck, and shoulders, 1 foot down, and then the other. Gorgeous. Well done. Release the hands away from your head and place them by your sides. Nice. Okay. Left knee into your chest, please, ladies and gents. Okay. Again, in imprint, pressing down that belly. Take your left leg towards the ceiling. Now we can all probably do our head, neck, and shoulders off. If you don't want to do that, okay, please feel free to keep the head down. Otherwise, we're going to reach the hole behind the thigh or the calf muscle. Either way, it's above or below the knee joint, not the knee itself. Let's lift the head, neck, and shoulders if you can, because we are kind of hanging onto the leg for this piece. So I'm hoping that helps with the neck, this last one. And right leg now reaches out towards the end of the mat and is long, 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 long. Okay. staying open with the shoulders, okay? Don't collapse, open with the shoulders. Breathing in, elbows are wide and high if you can. Breathe in, exhale, and we're going to just switch and hang out here for a second as we just check and regroup. Shoulders are still down, collarbones open, elbows are wide. Breathe in, exhale, and switch. Breathe in, exhale, and switch. Nice. We're trying to think about this leg being as long as possible, as straight as possible if we can. If you would rather, of course, just place one foot down in between and just really have a go at that leg lengthening. If that's easier for you, do so as I'm showing you now, okay? And thinking of the leg lengthening. Otherwise, we've got 4 more. And that's 4 pairs. And 3, exhaling on the leg as it comes to you. Last 2. And 1. And then bringing those knees in, head, neck, and shoulders down for everyone. Feet on the floor. Okay, hands just slightly wider than the mat for me. So you're on your carpet or flooring there by the side of the mat. And I just want you to allow those knees to head towards the right and your gaze to head towards the left, and just have a stretch off of the obliques, but also the neck as well, as we've done a lot of work there hanging out. So just pause and breathe on this one side. Okay, just stay where you are, pause and breathe. And noticing the stretch down the side of the body, perhaps down the side of the glutes, maybe even through that neck. When you're ready, we breathe in, exhale as you bring your gaze to the sky, then draw your knees to the ceiling, breathing in, and over we go to the other side. Okay, so this is just our second side where we stay here, looking in the opposite direction of the knees. If you feel you can, come through the neck. And again, just pause here with 2 breaths. Well done. And then when you're ready, exhale as you bring your gaze towards the ceiling and then join in with those knees. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves up into a high kneel position. So if you'd like to just gently bring your knees in or roll the knees to the side, we're coming up into high kneel. Okay, so if you do have any issues with your knees or they're uncomfortable, then do go ahead and pop a little cushion underneath those knees, okay? You can still see me all right. All right, so from here we're going to be high kneel, and we're going to be sort of a little bit towards the right end of the mat, and our left leg is out and extended towards the side, okay? And we've got our right hand down just on the mat here, all right? So you're going to see where you feel comfortable for this, okay? So you might find that your lower leg wants to be turning towards the end of the mat, if that's where your hip wants to be. Ideally, what we're looking for is the foot to be directly behind that knee, okay? That's kind of just a small, ideal if you could. And the hips are slightly pressing forwards as well. Of course, we end up doing a little bit of this to reach. If you need to, you can put a block under this hand, another cushion under this hand. That might help slightly for you. If you've got something there available, go ahead and use that. All right, that helps slightly too. Okay, top hand is just coming up and popping that behind the back of the head here. Well done. All righty, from here we're going to see how we get on with this single leg lift on the left, okay? It may just be a small hop and down. That might be all that you've got today in the tank. That is fine. If you can head up towards the hip height, then that is super too. And it's a big old distance that we can travel. So it's quite a big piece. Okay, it's a little bit more effort required than when we're just side lying on the floor. But you can see how we've got that lift of the rib cage. We've got these shoulders attempting to be a little bit stacked. Okay. So we've got 4 more, and 3, nice long legs, and 2, well done, that's great, Michelle, last 1, well done, Mary, pausing here, wonderful. Okay, from here we're going to bring our top leg towards the front edge of the mat, and we're now going to just hop that leg up and over and touch towards the back of the mat. Now, if this is a little bit hideous, you might just find you want to just do a slide to the front and back with the leg just sliding across the mat and it's skimming, okay? So you've still got the activation of the glutes backwards and forwards, okay? Or you can hop over if you feel that's okay for you. Lift up and over, we've got 2 more. And we've got our last one here. And pause, regroup, bring that knee in underneath you, come back to center and arms down by your sides. Gorgeous. Okay, small shoulder rolls. Okay, that supporting shoulder can get a bit tired. Okay, so let's just have a moment. Now, left hand out and away towards the end of the mat, right leg is extending, and again, just see how you feel. If you need to pop a little cushion under, then go ahead. If you feel like you can just straighten that back leg up slightly so that the heel is in alignment with the knee, go ahead. Otherwise, just have it wherever it's comfortable. Toes can be tucked under or flat. Hips slightly pressing forward. So you've got that sense of just a push forward and an opening of the pelvis, top arm coming up and settling by the side of your head there. Shoulders reasonably stacked, neck is nice and long. First things first is a single leg lift and see how it feels on this side. Again, if it's hideous, all righty, you can pop down onto the floor and do this with your side lying, just down on the floor if you wish. Okay, if you'd rather head down onto the floor, then do so. Okay, yeah, that's cool. All righty, so you can just be supporting the head, legs to the side, lower leg can be slightly bent if you want to, Janet, that's it, well done. Long lengthened legs. Last two, either a hop or a full lift, and pausing here, taking that leg to the front edge of the mat, and we're breathing in, exhale, hopping over to the back corner of the mat. Well done, hopping to the front. Again, as before, a little slide is also really cool. So you can just slide that leg and you're still keeping the core nice and strong. Okay, and stable. Or we're hopping forwards and backwards. Last two. And this is our final one. Well done, guys. And bring your knee in underneath you and draw yourself back up into high kneel. Okay. From here, we're heading into Mermaid, okay? So that's fortuitous. We're just going to drop our bottom towards the side. You have your legs to the side. Now, you choose where you want these legs to go, okay? If they're not friendly like this, you can Z-sit, which is just a little bit more space. Or you can, of course, have those legs front. Totally up to you. All righty. So choose where you fancy having these legs or where you want to put them or where you can put them. Okay, so we're kind of in the middle of the mat. Let's go ahead and take our, it doesn't matter if you've got your legs on the left or right particularly. Maybe we should. So let's go and have our legs on the left, everyone, if you can. Is that a pain? We're on the left. Yeah, you're left there. I think most of you are there already. That's cool. Right, fabulous. Now, right arm out and slightly away from the shoulder. So further away from the shoulder. Nice, okay. So from here, we're just going to enjoy a nice scoop of the left hand over the head and towards the right side. Okay, so just enjoy. Pausing here, just lift the rib cage, press the rib cage, press that left hip towards the ceiling as well. Okay, and then use your core to draw the arm over. Use your tummy, to take yourself over now towards the left with your right arm sweeping overhead. Stretch down the side of the body, and again, press that top hip and right hip towards the ceiling and the shoulder. Lift, lift, lift. Okay, over we go towards the right. Left arm sweeping over. Well done. And breathing in here. Think of this as an exercise, a core piece to pull yourself over with your midsection. Yeah, okay. Reach that hand a little bit further if you can. Let's get some stretch through that arm, even the elbow joint too. That's it. Well done. Over towards the right one more time. And we're pausing this way towards the right. Okay, taking our hand down towards the end of the mat, both hands facing towards the end of the mat. Lift your gaze and have a little bit of a stretch, that heart space, pulling through those shoulders. Shoulder blades slightly back and down if you can. Okay. And then lower the gaze back towards your hands, taking that hand back over. And we're going to bring ourselves back to center where we switch our legs around. So legs over towards the right, seeing how these guys feel here. And you've got your left hand reaching away slightly away from that shoulder joint. Okay, wonderful. Okay, right hand facing forwards. Let's go ahead towards the left to begin with. Over we go towards the left and reach. That's kind of the easier side, isn't it? Lift the rib cage, press, press, press. Yeah, that's it. Well done. Arm over. Now going to just think about, again, using those obliques, using the core to get you to transition from side to side. Reach through that left arm, through the shoulder, the elbow, even the wrist and fingers. Well done. Left hand down towards the mat. Right arm comes up and over. Lift the rib cage. Trying to have that arm tracking over the side of your head, not kind of front, if you can, just to open out the front of the shoulder and armpit area. Use the core to draw you over. Trying to get those hips to press down onto the floor as well. That's it. Well done. And final time with the hand over towards the left, the right arm sweeps over and joins the hand at the end of the mat. Okay, from here, again, that sense of just lifting the heart space, lifting your gaze to the other side of the room. Really have a big old stretch here through the spine. And pause, breathe in. Shoulder blades back and down, try and relax them a little bit so your neck's long, and then lower the gaze and sweep that arm back over and into sitting. Fantastic. Okay, so guys, we're on our fronts, all righty. So onto your tummies. Hands will be stacked one on top of the other, so elbows are by your sides. And I want you to be in frog's leg position as well, okay? So you've got your knees bent and your feet, soles of the feet are kind of together, all righty? Yeah, that's it. So your legs are slightly wider out towards the mat with the knees, and your feet are bent, and sorry, your feet are together, knees are bent. Looky like this. If you're not comfortable with these legs where they are, you are more than welcome just to have those legs long and wide. Okay, that is fine. But if you can, hop those knees, bend those knees for me. Okay, shoulder blades back and down. And just take a moment to bring the belly button in. Okay, think about that sense of the belly button drawing up and in. And you're long through the crown of the head. So you've got the space in the spine. And exhale. And I'd like you to just simply think about 1 or 2 breaths where you just repeat that. Exhale, belly in, and space in the spine. On your next exhale, I want you to just simply lift one elbow off the mat and place it back down. Breathing in, exhale, elbow lift. Place it back down. Okay, so single elbow lift. And again, we're noticing, we're observing the shoulder blade. As that single shoulder blade just gently draws in towards the middle of your spine, okay? Working on isolating one, then the other. Working on the rhomboids, trapezius muscles, gently pulling that shoulder blade in and strengthening across the back of the torso there. And last one, pause with both elbows down and just relax the shoulders for a moment, give them a wiggle if you need to. Okay, let's take our thoughts towards our lower limbs. Our feet are staying together, so try and keep them glued together if you can. You're going to breathe in, bring the belly to spine as you exhale, and lift one thigh bone or knee off the mat, and release that down. And switch sides, single knee or thigh bone lift, and down. Now, sometimes this just isn't happening, okay? It doesn't want to happen. There's no lift. You don't feel like you're really working hard enough. 2 things. One is just continue to think about sending the messages to the thigh. The muscles will contract and respond, but there might not be a lift, but that's okay. If that's not good enough for you, you can lengthen both legs, and you can, as I said at the beginning, just do your single straight leg lifts without frogs. Okay, so choices. And this is our last single. Pause. Okay, so we're going to do the opposites. Back to where we talked at the beginning of the class, and we're trying to talk about the brain working on differences, opposites. I want you to think about now your left elbow and your right knee lifting. Come back down, breathe in, lift your right elbow, left knee. Okay. Keep those feet together. Sometimes start to track apart, okay, but you want to still think about those feet staying together. And a big exhale and belly, okay, really thinking about that belly button coming in as you lift, so you're supporting that lower spine. We've got 2 more. And last one. And relax. Okay, now everybody let your legs come out to the corners of the mat. Nice wide legs, okay? And then your arms are also out wide as well. So bringing in those legs and arms, as we did a moment ago, really got you to target and isolate those core limb joints, so your hip joints and your shoulder blade area. I want you to bear those in mind when you do this swimming piece, okay? Because sometimes we think, yeah, it's swimming, and you just kind of rattle it off. Use those elbow lifts and knee lifts to really find and drill into those muscles that you've just worked already, okay? So when you're already breathing in, exhale, and it's a single straight arm and leg lift, opposites and lower, and then switch combination, opposite arm and leg lift. But find that shoulder blade, yes? Find that gluteal muscle, that thigh bone lift with intention and purpose. Lift and focus on not just how high you're getting, not just how long this limb is, but also that key joint that you're working. Yeah, nice. Yeah, good. Nice lengthening of the legs too, a little bit more length and reach and stretch. Well done. Adding in, as before, the head lift if you wish. Your forehead comes off the floor with you. And you are now pulling that pulling that crown of the head forwards. We're not looking to see if we can lift the chin away from the chest. Stay down with the parallel forehead, please. But you can lift and add, and perhaps that will bring you a little bit more height. It may get a bit naggy in the lower back, in which case you don't need to do it, okay? Because we've done a lot of work there. So we're going to just do 2 more, lift and lower. Head or no head, last one. And then gently peel back down onto the mat. Wonderful. Bring your legs together now, tuck your toes under, pop your hands by your sides and gently push yourself back over into your child's pose or rest position. Or if you're not keen on that, you can cat and cow here for a moment too, okay? If that's a little bit intense as you've been on your tummy, maybe you'd prefer to just do a quick cat and cow stretch. Totally up to you, okay? All righty. So from here, we're going to just swivel our legs around towards the end of the mat, and we're going to do a small amount of tricep work. Our hands kind of need to be in towards your bottom area-ish, okay? If that's not your gig, then they can be turned out slightly towards the end of the side of the mat, sorry, but you can't have your fingers facing away from you because you won't be able to bend the elbows that way, all right? So that is really option A or kind of option B and slightly wider. All right, so shoulder blades are back and down again, that sense of popping yourself out the top of the head, and shoulders, chest is pushing through the shoulders. Yeah, we keep on working that sense of opening across the chest and the front of the shoulder area there. Nice and light, almost feel like you're lightened those sit bones. Breathing in, exhale, and just slightly bend the knees to the mat, bend the elbows to the mat behind you, and then straighten the arms. Okay, so it's really from a straight arm-ish to a slightly bent elbow, and that is it. Okay, we're working the triceps. All righty. As I say, if you need to, you can slightly broaden those hands so they're slightly wider, or you can slightly turn those hands away if you're finding that it's a little bit too much. Okay, so that's a modification. Stay light and long through the pelvis, the spine, otherwise you end up kind of doing this, which is really just a release of the spine. Okay, we've got last 2 and final 1. Well done, and pause. Extend your legs forward and just have a little bit of a forward fold. Just hang out here for a moment, wrists rotating or shaking if you need to. Shake the legs, wiggle the back, whatever feels kind of nice. All righty, we're going to do 1 more set if you can. So place those feet back on the mat, hands are behind. Okay, they've had a moment to just regroup. Shoulder blades back and down, nice and light through the top of the head, light and feather touch under the hips. Breathing in, exhale, and just gently bend those elbows and breathe in, exhale. So we're going to do 8, so that's a couple in the bag already, 6 to go. Long, long, long spine. I nearly sounded like I was breaking out into song then. You could break out into song. We've got 3 more. And 2. Last 1. And again, release those legs forwards and just relax off those legs and arms. Okay. Turning over onto all fours for our final piece with our push-up work. Okay, so hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and I want you to have your eyes in front of those fingernails slightly. Okay, belly is in. You've got a lovely little pole on that back, so the spine is nice and long. We're not looking for mobilization or undulation of the spine. You're staying nice and static as you take your nose now and head down towards the mat. Elbows heading out now towards the side, so this is not so much triceps. You're working a little bit more over the shoulder area, and then bring yourself back up into your start position. Okay, so 4-point kneeling push-up. Nose is going down a little lift, an elevator shaft, and it comes back up that elevator shaft. Okay, it does not meander, neither forwards nor backwards. Down it goes and back up in that same little shaft. Toes trying to stay down on the mat if they can, folks. We're trying not to reach with the chin. Okay, so an imaginary little ball under that chin, it stays there the whole time. And we've got 1 more. And pause here and rest back slightly in your child's pose position. If you can have the elbows off the mat, that's just a little bit stupid because you're going to stretch through the whole of the arm as opposed to just relaxing down. We can stretch as well as pause and rest. Gorgeous. And then we're going to just bring ourselves into our V stretch before we head into standing. So hands slightly further away than with our 4-point kneeling, tuck your toes under. If you don't want to V stretch or it's not comfortable for you, you can just push back into a spawn ball now and roll yourself up. Otherwise, we're going to lift our kneecaps off the floor and pop our heart space and heads between our elbows if we can. Lift right up onto those toes and stretch down the back of the legs, lifting the bottom as high as possible, sinking your chest or rib cage towards your thigh bones as much as you can. And then from here, we're going to just relax the heels slightly and just bend off those legs, bend the knees, a little bit of pedaling. And now we're all going to just pause, and we're going to now just walk those feet towards your hands. So just gently, slowly, small little inch walks. Okay. And from here, we're going to join in with the roll up, okay? Taking your time, bring in the pelvic floor, bring in the belly button, and just slowly, if you need to, you can use your hands to walk up those legs, reset the spine and up into standing. Okie dokie. Alrighty, so in the middle of your mats, please, folks, just standing facing forwards, feet in parallel. One more time, finding a little bit of energy into those heels, hands down by your sides. Let's go ahead and bend the knees. Take your hands towards the side and we're into lateral flexion, over towards the right. Pause here, reaching those arms. We're revisiting where we were at the beginning. What I want you to do now is take your left leg and step the left leg towards the side of you, if you can. That's it. Leap of faith. Reach all the way through from those fingers down to the toes. Everything down that left side of the body, having a lovely, glorious stretch. Bring your hands to your temple, knees stay low, and we are going to just pause, regroup, and towards the left. And reach the arms, stretch, reach. Ready for that leap of faith. And the right leg now out towards the side. That's it. Still soft on that supporting left leg, and stretch and reach down towards the toe, into the floor, all the way towards your top of your fingertips. And then gently bring yourself back in. Standing back up, send your arms towards the ceiling, palms away, and press the air down by your sides, breathing in, double arm float towards the ceiling. Send the palms away, press the air down, and pausing here. Close your eyes for a moment and just breathe. Feel how your body is responding to you now. Do you feel like you've warmed up? Do you feel like you've connected with all your key joints? As you exhale, allow the air just to pull down, or the lead body and the energy just to pull down into the soles of the feet. Let's take 2 more breaths in. Grow tall through the crown of the head. Exhale. Feeling grounded, feeling secure. 1 more breath in. Exhale, maybe a gentle zip and a hollow as you then open your eyes. And we are done. Well done. Well done, folks. Please take any stretches or anything else you feel like you need to at the end of that session. Hopefully a nice all-rounder and some strong core work. So really good, really good. Hope everyone's safe, necks feel okay. And any feedback or any messages for you guys I don't see in the studio, do keep in touch with me. Let me know how it's all going, okay? I will see you again next week for our week 4. Have a fabulous day and enjoy this lovely, lovely sunny weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.